Blackwood Manor stood on a desolate hill, shrouded in mystery and fear. Its silhouette, a jagged scar against the stormy sky, loomed ominously over the town. Locals whispered tales, stories of vanished families, strange lights, blood-curdling screams. The manor was a place of unspeakable horrors. It had been abandoned for a century, yet it remained a monument to fear and despair. No one dared to approach, not after what happened to the last family who tried. Their fate was a grim reminder. They were never seen again. Only whispers remained. The manor's dark history was etched into the very walls. Rumours of a malevolent entity, a darkness that clung to the manor, feeding on the fear of those who dared to speak its name, and to anyone foolish enough to enter. The shadows seemed to come alive, whispering secrets of the past. Three friends, Jake, Emily and Chris, scoffed at the stories. They were amateur ghost hunters. Their YouTube channel, Paranormal Pursuits, thrived on debunking myths. Blackwood Manor was their ultimate challenge. Armed with cameras and determination, they vowed to expose Blackwood's secrets. They chose a stormy night. The wind howled like a banshee. Rain lashed against their faces as they approached the manor. It was a perfect night for ghost hunting. The front door creaked open as if inviting them in. A cold, musty air hit them. Silence hung heavy, broken only by the sound of their own breathing. They entered cautiously, their flashlights cutting through the darkness. Then they heard it, a whisper. Softly at first, then growing louder, it seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. "Get out!" The hairs on their necks stood on end. A shiver ran down their spines. In the attic, they found a dusty old journal hidden beneath a pile of forgotten memories. Its pages were filled with frantic scribbles, each line more desperate than the last. The last entry warned of a presence in the house, a dark force that lingered in the shadows. It spoke of a mirror, an ancient artifact that held unspeakable power, a portal that should never be opened. They looked around, their eyes scanning the dimly lit attic. There was only one mirror in the attic, standing ominously in the corner. A large, ornate thing covered in a thick layer of dust, its surface barely visible. Intrigued, Jake moved towards it, his curiosity getting the better of him. He reached out to wipe away the dust, his fingers trembling slightly. "Don't!" Emily cried, her voice laced with terror, echoing through the attic. But it was too late. Jake's hand made contact with the mirror and a chill ran down his spine. Jake's touch seemed to awaken something. The air grew even colder. The shadows in the room seemed to writhe and twist ominously. A cold, invisible hand pulled Jake towards the mirror. He screamed loudly. Emily and Chris grabbed him, trying to pull him back desperately. The mirror's surface rippled like water. Then, in a blink, Jake was suddenly gone. The mirror was clear again, reflecting Emily and Chris's terrified faces. They were trapped. Panic seized them. The air was thick with fear, every breath a struggle. They could hear their own hearts pounding in their chests, a constant reminder of the danger they were in. They raced through the house, searching for a way out. Every corner turned revealed more shadows, more uncertainty. The walls seemed to close in on them, the darkness almost tangible. Every room seemed to lead to another, each darker and colder than the last. The chill in the air was palpable, sending shivers down their spines. It felt as if the house itself was alive, guiding them deeper into its depths. The whispers followed them, growing louder, more insistent. "You can't escape!" The voices seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere, echoing in their minds, driving them to the brink of madness. Finally, they found the basement door. It stood there, old and foreboding, a potential gateway to freedom or further peril. Their hands trembled as they reached for the handle, the weight of their decision pressing down on them. It was their only hope. Determination flickered in their eyes, a glimmer of resolve amidst the overwhelming fear. They knew they had to press on, no matter what awaited them on the other side. They stumbled down the creaking steps, the darkness closing in around them. Each step echoed ominously, a reminder of the unknown dangers lurking below. The air grew colder, the silence more oppressive. The journal's final words echoed in their minds. The shadows hold him. The cryptic message sent chills down their spines, a forewarning of the horrors that lay ahead. They couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. And now they will hold you too. The realization hit them like a tidal wave, the gravity of their situation sinking in. The shadows seemed to come alive, reaching out, ready to claim their next victims. They burst out of the manor into the storm. Rain soaked them, but they didn't care. They ran until the manor was nothing but a distant silhouette. They were safe, or so they thought. As they drove away, Chris glanced at the rearview mirror. His blood ran cold. Sitting in the back seat staring at them with empty eyes was Jake. But something was different. His eyes, they glowed with an eerie, unnatural light. They were not alone.